Oh, hello, YouTube. Hopefully, we're doing all right today. Today, I have a iPhone 6 Plus. As you can see, this device has a cracked screen on the top hand or top left hand corner. Um, this device was still working right after it was cracked, still functioning well, no touch issues whatsoever. Shortly after that, the screen powered off and never came back on, and left it charging only to have this come on. When it powers on, it stays on for about give or take 5 seconds, powers back off. So okay, maybe it just needs to be charged a little more. But after leaving it charged for about an hour or so and continuing to do the same thing, I decided to check out the problem before change the screen or anything, if it was still worth fixing. Besides, like I said, besides the cracked screen, but sometimes whenever this happens, sometimes it could be a board issue. So, whenever you have a board issue, that's pretty expensive, having to replace that because it would have to be resoldered. So that's what I'm saying. If it's a board issue, it could be a chip that's broken. But before you assume it's the chip or the board itself that's bad, um, I would recommend you to do a few things. You can connect this, or actually, since it doesn't power on, you can't connect it to iTunes. Now, if it does power on and it stays on, I would recommend you to do a factory restore via, your computer and using iTunes, and just restore it from there. And maybe that could, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing that could fix the problem, but if it doesn't, I would recommend you trying a battery. As you can see, this is my test battery. And like I said, I left this charging and kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I decided to open this up. Now, before we begin, you're going to need a few tools. You're going to need a micro Phillips head screwdriver, also known as the cross to some of you guys, screwdriver. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You'll probably be using one of these packets. If you have one of these packets, this will do. You're not doing anything out of this world. You're just going to remove about 6 screws at the most. Um, but once you have this, I'm just trying to show you what you will be needing. If you have this will be included. And a little spudger. If you don't have one of these pry tools here, not these are about $7, $6. Not if you're looking for a cheaper quality, but this is about give or take $10. And if you don't have one of these, you can use one of these suction cups, like I said, it's included in here. And you would need a micro star screwdriver. Now, like I said, it will be included in this if you don't have one, but like I said, a star screwdriver if you don't have one of these. But anywho, what you're gonna do is, like I said, after leaving it charged and nothing, so you want to go ahead and proceed. What you're gonna do is unplug it first, just to be sure it's not receiving any more charge. And as you can see, this phone had 2 screws on the bottom. If I can get a good view at it, you can see 1 and 2, and it's missing one. So like I said, after it took that hit, the screw came flying off. You now using the micro screwdriver, micro or the star screwdriver, you're gonna just remove both bolts. Like in my case, there was 2, but I only have 1 to remove. So put these in a place that you can tell and later put back. Now from here, like I said, if you have one of these pry tools, you're gonna just gently wedge between. Now, if your screen is not cracked, don't worry. I'm just, like I said, showing this completely before doing any other things. You can just wedge underneath, and then boom. And then from here, you can use your little pry tool to go around, and from there it will start opening. Just go from side to side. Always start on the bottom, never at the top, because there's ribbon cables here that you don't want to rip. Again, start at the bottom, then work your way from left to right or right to left, your choice. And like I said, just go from here once you have it pried open a little. Now, if you don't have the pry tools, you would just use the suction cup where it's not cracked. The reason I'm saying it's not cracked because you don't want any air, and you're just gonna stick it on there and lift a little. As you can see, the screen starts lifting just a little. You just need enough space to get the pry tool in there, if it would stick. There we go. Nope. There we go. It's just enough. You see that? Just enough. So I'm showing you both ways how to get this done. Once you get that side, then you go the other side. Now you could use a guitar pick if one was included. This probably would be included too, but just if you have one, this would be easier. But I don't know why I was still using that. And just with patience, you eventually get there. And there we go. As you can see, it should be like that, and you're going to gently lift from bottom to top. Like I mentioned earlier, there's cables at the top. I'm just trying to give you a good angle. There you go. You see those cables right there? You don't want to mess with those. So, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to use a battery to test if it's the board. Now, your battery that you may have or damage that you may need, you can get one offline. You can just type in your model number without showing the IMEI here. It says here it says model A1522. So just type in model A1522 battery and you get a few hits in the Google search bar. Now once you have your battery, like I said, this is just my test battery, and this is how I do. I test it before I proceed with anything, before I assume anything. And from here, you're gonna see, once you have it open, you're gonna see two screws. You're gonna remove both of these screws, 1, 2. And again, you're gonna move these to a spot that you will remember and that you won't lose, because we're gonna put all these screws back. Like I mentioned, we're just gonna remove a few. So here we're just gonna do four total, because it will be 2 on the bottom and 2 on the side. Now you're gonna just remove it. When you remove this ribbon cable, let me show you. Once you remove a ribbon, this is the charging port cable. It may be stuck to that little metal plate. Now, whenever you take it off, make sure it's in good, because like I said, once you lift that, it would lift this and make it loose. Whenever you try to charge, it's not going to work. So like I said, I recommend you go and confirm that this is connected well. And here is the battery connector right here, side by side. This is the battery. What you're going to do is, using the pry tool, the spudger, you're going to just gently wedge it out. As you can see, it comes out just like that, and move it to the side. And from here, now you got 2 ways. If you want to take out your battery, I don't recommend it yet, because it could still work. As you can see, there's these plastic tabs here. You would remove it if you want to remove your battery, but like I said, I don't do any of that. I just test the battery right away. But if you do want to remove the battery, there's plastic tabs here. Just gently pull it to the side, and little by little will come out, and it'll eventually give out. On those 6+ models, there's 3, 1, 2, 3, if you want to remove the battery. And here we go, using my battery. You will plug it in and make sure you hear it clip. Now if you don't hear it clip or click, you might want to make sure, because if it doesn't click, there's no connections made to it properly. And as you can see, like I said earlier, it turned on, but in this and it just turned off. Like I said, it kept doing that continually for about the next hour or so. And so like I said, now things are looking good. It's powering on, nothing out of the ordinary after using the battery. Yeah, like I said, if your device doesn't power on completely, just make sure, like I said, the connection has to be in there properly. You may have to hold it if it's not in there. Hold it and turn it on. But if you hear it click, just give it a second. And as you can see, my device powers on. Now, like earlier, like I said, it came on for 5 seconds and boom, kicked me right back out. But using this battery, if nothing changes, then that is most likely the case. That was the issue, was the battery. The battery probably short-circuited, or probably just burnt out from the shock. But like I said, before assuming it was the logic board. But once you confirm that that it was a battery, like I said, you can remove these 3 tabs. Now if you fail in that, I have another video where you heat up the battery, and you're able to remove the battery without taking the tabs off. But whatever the case is, I'll be sure to leave the link in there. But once you have everything installed, make sure the device is powered off, and what you're gonna do from here is take that off, and you can put everything back together. Now, if you found this video helpful, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. And as you can see, I'm putting everything back to back, which putting these 2 screws here, boom, boom.